All right, good morning, everybody. It's a little later than I was hoping. Had to go deal with some crows this morning. They putting out some scarecrows and some old black water hose to make them look like a snake. Who knows? They've already been out there this morning, but trying to keep them at bay, try to keep the corn alive. But anyway, I want to talk to you a little bit about this. I've mentioned a time or two in some other videos about this dump truck load of firewood. Now, I was really hoping to get this dealt with before it rained last night, but we had a rogue storm roll through, and it caught me right after dark, or right at dark. So, but anyway, what I'd like to do, because I get this question all the time from people in the woods industry. People say, hey, how much should I buy a dump truck loader or a pickup truck loader? How much wood's in a dump truck, or how much wood's in a pickup truck? And in West Virginia, I've heard others mention that, like Ohio, I think it is, you cannot advertise as a truckload of wood for sale. And but West Virginia, we don't fall under that, but people still like to know. So what I'm going to do here, I've got a little clip I put in of this load being dumped. This was a 80s model Chevy or GMC 1-ton dump, 8-ish foot bed. It's about the same width as the rear axle, which is kind of narrow on those trucks. It is 8'8". There we go. Now we're going to measure across the back of it. Just right on the inside there. So it is 6'9" or 81 inches. And it was stacked across the tailgate and chained down so it wouldn't fall out. Then just remove the chain, and everything else was thrown in front of that. And that's what this wood right here is. And it's average size for home heating wood, a little big for bundle wood, but we really needed some of this for a customer, and we were running low on the bigger stuff. So a friend of mine, he's got a firewood business, and he helped us out with a load of this. So what we're going to do is a whole lot of silly work for nothing, but we're going to stack it in the truck, and then I'm going to stack it up, and then we're going to throw it in a tote. So hello, good morning. Hey guys, just to let you know, we're getting ready to leave the farm here with your truckload of wood. Yes sir, it'll be about 20 minutes or so. Yep, to get to your place. Yes, it's a thrown in 8-foot truck bed load. You'd rather have a stacked one? No problem, we'll get you taken care of. Thank you, bye now. Hello. Hello, yes sir, it's me again. I was just touching base with you, let you know that we got your stack truck bed load, and we'll be getting to see you about 20 minutes or so. How much of a cord is it? Tell you what, hold on, let me check. I'll let you know here in just a minute. Thank you. Thanks a bunch. Bye now. Hello. Hey, yes sir. Yes sir. Now I'll just let you know, we got it figured out. We know exactly now how much wood is in it by the cord. What's that? Yeah, we've already got it loaded back up, ready to come to you. You think you'd rather just come and pick it up yourself in your own truck? Well, that's okay. That's no problem. That's no problem. We'll get you taken care of. Thanks a bunch, and bye now. All right, glad to have that done. Phone's vibrating here. Hello? Yes, sir. How are you? Good, yes, sir. We got all unloaded here, ready for you to come pick it up. You don't have time to come get it now. Okay. Okay, so you'd like to have it delivered in a container that you could unload with your tractor. You have forks on the front of it? You do? Okay. Okay. Well, yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll get it loaded up and we'll head your way here. It gives a little bit to get it in a tote, and we'll get it headed your way. All right. Thanks, sir. And bye now. Some days. Hello. Yes, sir. Hey, I was just letting you know we've got your wood all loaded up in a tote. Going to get it up on a truck and head your way here. Again, should be a little over 20 minutes. Just enough time to load it up on the truck and tie it down and head your way. Just to let you know. What's that? Oh, you think you found it cheaper somewhere else? You're going to get it from them? Okay, well, that's fine. That'll be just fine. Well, thank you for your time. Take care. Bye now. Take a little break here. Let's see what YouTube has on it today. Reducing the touches. What's that? Makes sense. Apparently, the best way to be profitable in a firewood business, according to YouTube, is to reduce the touches. So anyway, that's kind of what we're going to be doing this morning while it's reasonably cool out, and see if we can't get this kind of have some baseline. Again, none of this is scientific. We don't, you know, I don't know how you could get scientific about a truck bed, but anyway, it's just to kind of let you know by looking at that truck what a regular pickup truck looks like. And the truck we're going to use is the old first gen Dodge here. It's an 8-foot bed and nothing in it. Gooseneck ball's turned over. It's got a bed mat, and so there's not a bed liner eating out corners in there. And so anyway, I'm going to set you up, and we will load this up real quick. And I may even do a stack load just to see you can kind of see the difference there too. But anyway, we'll kind of see how this shakes out. But I'm going to turn you loose and let you watch us throw some wood. All right, so there is about 10 minutes. I've got a little hole over there and a hole here. All right, so that's about 10 or 12 minutes to throw stack a load of 8-foot bed load of wood. And that's about what you'll get. Let me get down here so you can see it. It's heaped up a little bit. That's about what you'll get around here in our neck of the woods for a just a thrown load of wood. See, I didn't place anything. I just threw it all. Wherever it landed, it landed. So now let's see the difference in a thrown load versus a stack load. So I'm going to hop up here and place all this in, and we'll see how much more wood we can get if we were to stack it in here. All right, so we took a few minutes and turned a thrown truck bed load into a stacked truck bed load. And you can kind of see there's enough room for another row, and that was not completely full. Now, this is a heaped stacked bed load. So let's see what it looks like whenever we make it level, how much more wood that's going to add. All right, so here is what I'd call a stacked level bed. And again, this is the exact same quantity as a thrown heaped load. And you'll notice here, this is something that you could arguably put a tonneau cover over. There's a piece or two here and there sticking up that would keep you from, I'm gonna try to get a good shot here for you. Right about there, that's, again, that's something that a tonneau cover would go over, and with maybe there's one there kind of sticking up a little, and then there's a little bit of room here in the back. You can see, I'll kind of get above that for you. There's a room for a few more pieces floating around in there. So that is the exact same quantity as a heaped truck bed load, and you saw a minute ago what the stacked heap load looks like. And so now what we're going to do is stack this up and see just how much wood it is. So stick around. See where one of those little easy dump things where you have the handle in the back and it rolls everything to the back would be pretty handy right now. Or maybe even a dump truck that would maybe set the bed on the ground. All right, so how much is a cord of wood? I guess we should talk about that for a second. And there's a couple different kinds. So the typically in firewood though, there's two. There's a face cord and a full cord. So a full cord is 4 feet tall, 4 feet wide, and 8 feet long. And a face cord is just what it says, the face of the wood, 2-dimensional instead of 3, and it'll be 4 feet tall and 8 feet long. So I've got an IBC tote setting up here against this. And right there, we're right at 4 feet tall. So we'll kind of maintain that baseline across to 8 feet. And we'll go grab another tote and set it over there on the ground at 8 feet, which is right there at the end of that piece of wood. So right here at the end of this guy is where our tote's going to have to be. And we'll kind of stack it up and see what it says. So anyway, I hope you can see that over there. Oh yeah, you can see where that was. So we'll go ahead and get this in here, and we'll see just how much in some sort of standard measurement. I'm gonna fly on the camera there. Anyway, we'll try to figure out again what kind of standard measurement, because again we get a lot of these questions all the time. How much wood is it? And you try to do your best to explain it, but I think maybe this video will help a little bit. And I'm a visual guy, so hopefully it'll help you guys too that are visual. So, all right, well, let's go ahead and get another tote, set it over here, and we'll fill this up and see how much fits in a pickup truck. Okay, so you can see here we're hovering right around that 4-foot mark above. In most places 4.2, right at 4 there, tick under here, which, you know, again, we're trying to get an average here. It's a little over 4, dead on 4, right at 4, and just a little over 4. So right here we have a roughly a face cord of firewood, and there's still almost a layer in the truck. So I think if we would have filled the very back tight, it would have held a just in the what is that, 4 rows? 4 rows in the very back would hold a face cord in this truck. So I'll show you what I mean. All right, so here we have our face cord of firewood, 4 feet tall, 8 feet long, and we have had to take this much out right here out of the 5th row. So again, you remember there was a little bit of extra laying in the back, air spout behind, or I guess a little bit of room rather behind the 5th row, and we had a few pieces laying in there. But I think we could have probably put this many pieces in there to come up with 4 rows and the last bit to be a face cord of firewood. So so it looks like we're going to have just a little over a face cord in a either thrown load or a stacked level 8-foot pickup bed. So we'll go ahead and get this brought around and we'll stack it up and show you exactly what a 8-foot pickup bed of wood looks like stacked. All right, so a little bit of math. So we've got our cord would be, a face cord would be 4 tall, 8 long, and so if we plug that in here, 4 times 8 would be 32. I guess we'd call that square feet because we're selling a face. We're not really doing a volume thing, and we'd know for volume we just have 3 layers of that at 16 inches. So we have 32 square feet. So now we're going to do 4.5 times 1.5, and that'll give us 6.75 for our remainder that we had in the truck bed. So let's go ahead and do 32 divided by All right, so basically it's pretty close to a 1/5 of a cord left over. So about 1 1/5 cord says 5.26 times that 6.75 will go into 32. All right, so let's take a quick minute here and see just how much of this cord will actually fit in a tote, because I think that'll be a handy thing for us to know. I know it's going to be a handy thing because I always have requests for a face cord of wood, and it's pretty aggravating to have to stack it up and restack it and all that mess. And so let's go ahead and we'll put it over in the tote here and just see how much of it fits, and we'll go from there and see just what it looks like. And again, this is average firewood size stuff. This is, again, not the stuff we usually sell for bundles, so kind of be probably more handy for the majority of you folks out there that are dealing with wood and wooden customers, and perhaps you're a customer and you just like to know what that looks like. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Another thing before we go too far, I try to stack them the short direction, and that lets me put more wood in the middle. I found that if I stack them the long direction, it's hard to get wood down in the gap between them sometimes. And I learned that wide gaps feel better and pack tighter from excavating. If you're digging a ditch, I get a lot of customers there too. They want to, and maybe we can do a video on that. They want just a little water line put in. And then, you know, you start digging that water line with a 2-foot wide bucket, or like, or an 18-inch bucket. They're like, oh my goodness, you're moving a lot of dirt just to put a 3/4 or 1 inch line in. But the thing is, I don't know if you've ever gone behind a trenching machine that has a little bitty gap. That thing is so hard to pack full. You can spot those every day because there's a gap this wide, that deep in a few months, because it just doesn't compact well. You can't get good compaction down in that ditch well. And the same thing with a little itty bitty skinny bucket. It's really hard with a 12-inch bucket to get nice compaction back in there. So I tend to use a 2-foot bucket, even to dig a little ditch, especially if I'm not in unfavorable soil like, you know, heavy rock or something like that. Then that way I can get so much better job compacting it back. Of course, when I dig, I put the topsoil on one side, sub on another, and that way you get a really nice job when you're done. But anyway, it's the same principle right here. So I like to stack it in the short way, and then I can get a lot tighter feel in that wider gap. It just looks a lot better and better job that way. Another thing, I don't cut in the fronts out of these because I like to be able to stack them nice and tall. That's another benefit of not having them cut, is stackability. Looks like we've got a guest showing up here. Yeah, we did a bumper job on this truck not long, I guess last summer, in the middle of last summer. It's kind of a fun deal. Maybe get to check it out. All right, that turned out being Waylon. You've heard about him in some of the other videos there. He's a subscriber too, but he was working on a buddy of ours truck there, so getting that thing all wrapped up. It had a turbo issue, and he got that cleaned up. But anyway, Waylon's the guy we got the super clean little Gravely from, the Professional 8. So it's video that back there, you can go check it out. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get back to work here and get this thing all taken care of and cleaned up, and see how much wood fits in this thing. So there we have it. There is a full tote that we can still stack totes like this. You need to leave a little bit of gap around the edges here for the one that's going to set on the go. Plus, you need to have a pretty straight shot through for your fork so they don't hit anything. So that would be one that we could stack. And let me show you how much is left. Oops. All right, so there it is. You can see how we got that in there nice and neat. It looks really good. This little bit right here is all that's left out of a cord that didn't go. So now I almost think if you had the taller, I think they're a 330 IBC tote, that that might work better as far as getting a full cord in. I may have to do that one day. I've got a couple, I don't have them stripped down yet, but this one is a 275, and let me get you a measurement on that real quick. I've got my tape here. Okay, so the height of a 275 is about 40 inches of stackable height, and they're about, what's that, about 37 or so on the inside. And let's see how long this guy is. From that piece of wood to that piece of wood, about 45, 46, something. Let me see. Let me get a better number up here. About 45 inches. That's what we're looking at. And yeah, about 45 inches on the inside. That's what we're looking at. So there you have it. We've got a sun's finally coming out. It's been a kind of overcast morning, which I'm not complaining about. It's been very humid though. You see the hat is sopping wet. But anyway, it's been a good morning. A little mist here and there along the way, but no complaints. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get this guy set over to the side, and we'll know that. Actually, I tell you what, let's go ahead and put the rest of the full cord on it so we'll know what a full cord looks like in a 275. Let's do that. That way you'll have that bit of data too. And again, this little bit right here is what's left on the ground. So you can kind of see it, not the second row, just the first one. So there's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24 pieces that still left behind. So I'm gonna set you up over here and let you watch us put the last bit of that one. All right, so right there is what a full cord stacked between two totes looks like, stacked inside of one. So it's a, let me give you some measurements here. It's roughly 7 to 8 inches up and tapered along the tops, a few pieces in the middle. And there. All right, so here are the hunks and chunks or rotted stuff that wasn't real pretty. And again, nothing wrong with that. We'll burn that in this, around the house and stuff. I'll put it, we've got a hunks and chunks bin right over there. We'll put it in there, and because it's all dried and ready to go. And this is what came out of the dump truck. So you guys saw that clip. I'll throw that clip in here again just so you kind of get a good visual. And the dimensions, I've got it measured for you. We'll throw that clip in as well. 8'8", 6'9", or 81 inches. And so we determined that this was a exact 4x8 stack of face cord of wood. And here is an unofficial one, very similar in size. So we can say we have 2 face cords, and I would say with the hunks and chunks, if they had been stackable size, almost a third one. So the dump truck that delivered that wood, we could arguably say almost a cord of wood. And the and I think also just a tick over 2 thrown pickup bed loads. I say that because we had this plus the little bit of a fifth of a cord left over. And so we got another one and probably a fifth right there. So maybe even just I'd say a tick over, maybe 2 1/4 pickup truck loads fit in that dump truck thrown in. And of course the back of it was stacked, so that could be if you had a tailgate on it and the whole thing was thrown, I'd say it'd be really, really close to 2 for that truck, which is that little blue and white dump truck, and it would hold 2 of this thrown in load. So anyway, I hope that's been helpful, and we handled wood a lot today, and I'm sorry about that, but for the sake of education, and you know, and you know, we joke about the as few touches as possible, and that's important, and that's what we're striving to do here in our total operation, is to get it down to handle the least amount as possible. So again, stay tuned for some other stuff coming up along that line. And but since I'm in the education business, a lot of times we do some really stupid stuff for the sake of education. lots of crazy paperwork for no reason, lots of steps for no reason. And today we kind of did a lot of crazy stuff, handling a lot of wood for no reason, other than just simply so we'd know. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I am tickled to kind of have some non-scientific but somewhat quantitative data that we can now base this off of. So we now know that this thing humped up about 8 inches or so is going to be a face cord, and we also know that one of those flat with a little bit left over is a pickup bed full, so thrown. So anyway, it benefited me. I really hope it benefits you. And again, for those folks that maybe just don't know what a cord is and they don't understand what that means or can't visualize what that really looks like. So, but anyway, that's and again, the difference between a face cord and a full cord. So anyway, hopefully it's helpful to you. And I'm going to go ahead and throw these hunks and chunks away, get all this stuff cleaned up, stack those in, let them dry out here in the sun today, because they're fully cured, dried, they're ready to go, but they just got wet. So we're going to let them dry out today and get them delivered here before too much longer. And anyway, appreciate you hanging in there with us and checking this video out. Hope it was helpful. Really like these little forks. We use them with sawmill all the time too, to separate the sawdust from the chips and junk that come around, bark chunks from the sawmill. So we've got a I don't know, this one's pretty old. We've had it here at the shop for quite a while, but it's I'm gonna take it and just kind of rake these heavy chunks up, and we'll get them loaded up. We'll call this done.